What showed you that some people are wolves in sheep's clothing? I was walking home from my evening shift at the diner when CPS called me. Ms. Parker, we've received a formal complaint about severe neglect of your daughter Zoe. A caseworker is at your home now. My hands started shaking so bad I had to stop walking. I literally ran the rest of the way home and found a woman in a blazer sitting in my living room. My 3-year-old daughter Zoe was crying and kept asking if she did something wrong. The CPS worker introduced herself as Ms. Blake and started listing off accusations. Zoe being left alone for extended periods, showing signs of malnutrition, unsafe living conditions. She kept looking around my small apartment. It was modest, yes, but clean. That's when my daughter's daycare volunteer, Mrs. Brennan, showed up. She walked in like she belonged there. She'd been notified about the investigation as a concerned community member. Mrs. Brennan pulled out her phone and showed photos of Zoe at daycare, pointing out her worn clothes compared to other children. She suggested Zoe stay with her family temporarily while I got proper support. The custody hearing happened 2 weeks later. Zoe sat in the witness chair with her feet dangling. "I want my mama," she told the judge, tears streaming down her face. "I didn't do anything bad. Please let me go home." But the judge just nodded absently and granted temporary custody to the Brennans. I felt my world collapse. Zoe started screaming for me, but the bailiff held her back as they carried her away. The supervised visits were torture, 2 hours weekly in a sterile room. Zoe would cling to me, whispering that she wanted to come home. She stopped eating at the Brennans' house and lost 6 pounds. 4 weeks in, Miss Rivera pulled me aside. She'd been Zoe's daycare teacher for 2 years. "Zoe hasn't spoken in class for over a week," she said, showing me her notes. They recommended increased visitation, but the Brennans pushed back. "She's confusing the child by not accepting the situation," Mrs. Brennan told the judge. "They offered to let me see Zoe monthly if I agreed to permanent guardianship. I stood up in court and said, no, my daughter needs me, and I won't abandon her." They filed for permanent guardianship anyway, citing my inability to provide stability. Zoe completely stopped talking during visits. She would just hold my hand with tears rolling down her face. The Brennans found her sleeping in their closet. "She says it smells like her mama's perfume," Mrs. Brennan reported with disgust. The supervisor noted that Zoe had become essentially nonverbal, except when visits ended and she'd scream for me. Mrs. Patel, our neighbor, had been watching our family since Zoe's father died. When she heard about Zoe's condition, she contacted a child advocacy group. When they reviewed the case, they noticed something disturbing. Mrs. Brennan had been involved in 3 similar cases against single mothers. She was using the same playbook every time. Then, the Brennans made their move. They offered a compromise. They'd raise Zoe, but I could visit monthly, supervised. "Think about what's best for her," Mrs. Brennan said. "We can give her everything you can't." I sat in my car after one visit where Zoe grabbed the doorframe screaming, "Please, Mama, don't leave me here." Her fingernails left marks in the wood. I stared at those marks and almost gave in, but Mrs. Patel kept digging. She found security footage of Mrs. Brennan at our apartment building 2 weeks before the complaint. Zoe was laughing in her favorite purple dress, perfectly happy and healthy. The advocacy group subpoenaed the Brennans' communications. The emails were damning. They'd been planning this since they started volunteering at the daycare. "We need to save Zoe from that woman," Mrs. Brennan wrote. "Single mothers can't provide proper stability. We can give her the life she deserves." They'd been watching and waiting to strike. The emergency hearing felt different. This time, the judge actually looked at the evidence. He watched videos of Zoe before separation, clearly thriving and happy. Her drawings from that time showed rainbows. The ones from the Brennans' house were dark scribbles. He reversed custody immediately. The Brennans got supervised visits only. CPS launched an investigation into their foster care fraud. Last week, Zoe drew a picture of us baking cookies together